It's been hot lately, hasn't it? Well, we're going to do a 2-month review and follow up on this Yitahome, which is the same as an aux unit. Also Costway and a couple others. Basically the same type unit. And we're going to talk about things that we've learned since then and et cetera, et cetera. Look at that remote. So you can match that remote up of a ton of brands and you're going to find that it's the same exact thing. And there's some markers there that you can tell that these are the same units when you start to look at them. You can look at how the vents are arranged and things like this. This is a 12,000 BTU 115 volt unit. Put it in 2 months ago. Did almost the entire thing myself. And let me link to that video right up top here. So if you look up here, you'll be able to see a video I'm linking to of the install video. Now I've turned that on and it is extremely quiet. Hopefully there's no noise canceling going on there. I've got this in my basement in an area that has a tray ceiling in it. And then it goes, and if I open this door, it will cool the entire basement. This 1-ton unit, which is 12,000 BTU. I did not receive this for any kind of compensation or anything like that, so this is an honest review. I got this unit for just around $400 shipped to the door. The Yitahome website does not seem to charge sales tax. I don't know if that's true in every state. Your mileage may vary, but again, look for this under a couple different names. AUX, AUX, tends to be the parent company. Supposedly there's only about 3 to 6 companies in the world that make mini splits, and AUX makes these under a ton of names. Costway, like I said, Turbro, several others. But again, look at this remote control and match it up and you'll be looking at the same type brands when you look at the ads. This display is pretty cool. Displays obviously in Fahrenheit. Now that wasn't true of all the earlier models from Yitahome. I guess in the comments they had some complaints, but it seems that maybe they rectified that later. It has a feature in here that does swing up and down. Now this model does not go left and right. I think even the instruction model might have said something about that, but there is no internals, and that's fine. You can shift left or right by putting your finger up in here and moving this, and it'll click over a couple clicks. The app works fairly well. It did not attach initially, but I was able to use my phone as a hotspot, named the same exact hotspot name as my home ID, and I put it in the credentials and it attached to my phone. And then once it attached, I disabled, and I used a different phone to do that, but I disabled that local hotspot, and then it was able to attach to the more far-reaching one in the other room easily, and it's attached ever since. I will note there's something I experienced here is that temperature right there that it's trying to reach, this is not unique now that I've researched it to this brand. But there is a wide swing for what it will try to reach. 4 degrees, one way or another. And I think mini splits are kind of that way so they don't short cycle. Another thing common when in cooling mode, mini splits continue to run. This fan continues to run, maybe a whisper. They continue to run unless they're shut off. So I have a timer on here for when no one's in the basement. It shuts off a couple times a day. Otherwise it runs for when I want it to. And there is a scheduling feature inside the app. Works good with Amazon Alexa, and I would assume Google Home as well. But it's been great, in fact, for the price. This is the, I think was touted to be around the 18 SEER, but I'm not sure if a lot of the SEER ratings are inflated or hard to believe from the mini split brands. All these are made in China. The display, it will shut off if you use the app. I think it'll shut off too using this, hitting display. Yep. But one thing about this is that beep that you hear every time that I do an input, I can find absolutely no way to shut that off in the app or on the remote itself. So if that annoys you, that's something that you should know. You would otherwise have to look for that beeper directly on the board and pierce it with a pin or something to get rid of the beep, because you can't shut the beep off. It annoyed me at first, but then I was used to it. I'm not changing it up much in the night. All right, so let's go outside and look at the outside model, outside of this, and show the follow-up of it. Here's the outside portion. Running very quietly. It's on right now. It has almost no noise. So the install of this was straightforward. You'll see that in the video. You note that I put in my own cutoff. Now, here's questions I received about these. Can I just plug this in? Well, you could, but you have to still try to meet code. What if you sell your house one day and somebody sees that you've kind of got a science project going on there? I tried to do everything to code as best as possible. I have a cutoff switch here and things like that. If you were to plug it in, you would need the right gauge of wire, and you need an outlet close by, and that outlet would need to be 20 amps for this 115 unit. So once you ensure all that, and that nothing else is on that circuit, you should just do a proper cutoff, because you're going to go to all that trouble by making sure that the wire gauge is 12 gauge, it's a 20 amp circuit, and everything is good to go. Now I am running this on a 15 amp breaker, and it's had no difficulty. That's just because I had a 15 breaker already in place. And it really should have a 20 amp, but if it's getting by on a 15 and not flipping, there's no issue there. There's no safety issue there because it's a lower and it would flip sooner. It has not flipped. I had this pad already from an older unit, and I just slid that and leveled it up. I had someone vacuum my system completely to make sure there was no moisture in the line, and it sucks all the air out basically, so it can have the refrigerant that's already inside this outside unit. When it's released through a valve there, it can maximize its potential. So I did have that done. I do have a vacuum pump of my own now. In the last couple of months, I did a video of my Camry, my Toyota Camry, and I can link to that if you want to see that, where I had to vacuum it and I had to charge that system. Now an automotive is different, but it's the same principle on charging the system. How did I run my condensation line? Well, I quite simply just tapped into the other condensation line that I had. I'd already had the condensation line coming out of this full-size unit for the upstairs, and I teed that in real quick, and I just ran it downhill and into there, and it goes underground and comes out over here behind the bush. But that's how I ran my condensation line, and now I'm not standing in mud or anything right here where that would continually come out. So that's the Yitahome. Yes, that's how we pronounce it. Ox, or however you want to say, and the follow-up in a 2-month review absolutely has been a great investment, and have not seen a dent in our power bill at all, because we actually replaced both of our full-size systems, and we got so much savings out of them that even adding this one, it did not go up to where you can notice it. Our power bill actually went down because we updated these two systems here lately. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Like, share, and subscribe.